myhealthandliving.com, natural remedies for life. Hello, I'm David Cummings, also known as Healthy Dave. My Health and Living is all about natural health measures to live a healthy life, along with alternative natural remedies to help you avoid sickness, heal your ailments and maintain a youthful state. This week's show is all about the curse of the artificial sweeteners, and everyone says just to get off sugar, as it is not good for you, and replace it with an alternative. But what they fail to say is that the most popular artificial sweeteners on the market today are absolute poison. We can delve further into this alarming topic and help you make you aware of what is in these concoctions. This show is all about discussing the real truths, embracing the principles of health, and sharing real, healthy living tips for you and your whole family, without the hype of selling popular products just for the sake of a buck. This means that even we say unpopular things about certain products, medicines, and other so-called health alternatives, then we will speak about them. This means that it is including alternatives for sugar as well, and these may include aspartame, saccharin, xylitol, phenylalanine, and even stevia. Now, whilst we are not doctors, trained health practitioners, and we do not give medical advice, but we do have the right to voice our opinion and share our great health tips and healthy methods that have worked for thousands of years. Now, let's get into the curse of the artificial sweeteners and their alarming, poisonous facts.
Artificial sweeteners are not necessary in most foods. Food should taste nice by itself, or enhanced with salts to bring out its own natural flavours. There are alternatives to artificial sweeteners as well, and we'll go through these a little later in the show. The problem today is that we have grown accustomed to sweets. The Western society diet includes too many sweets, and if it's not coated in sweets or flavours or sugars or this or that, then people just don't really want to eat it. And the problems associated with too much sugar, of course, pancreas overload and insulin production problems, which can lead to diabetes and other major problems as well. And it is a constant battle in the body to balance things up. So just remember that everything we do and everything that we eat has consequences to our body as well. Everything that we put into our mouth can have a reaction to our body. And if it's not straight away, then it may be in the future. It may be in the distant future. It may be in another year or so. So don't fool yourself. We need to realize that it will affect you eventually. Now, whilst not everybody likes honey or other natural sweet alternatives, we should move towards perhaps weaning ourselves off the sweet tooth foods that we always seem to consume. Now, without looking at the problems associated with the sugars and sugar highs, etc., let's look now at these alternatives on the market today to sugars, and they can cause some real problems. First on the list we have is aspartame. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener used in diet soda pops and soft drinks, and in over 6,000 other sugar-free or diet products around. Their chemicals are very, very dangerous. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener used in diet sodas or diet soft drinks, and in over 6,000 other sugar-free or diet products, and they are very, very dangerous. It is primarily made up of aspartic acid and phenylalanine, and the phenylalanine is synthetically modified to form into methanol, and this affects our cells, because in humans the methyl alcohol travels through the blood vessels into sensitive areas, such as the brain, and are loaded with alcohol dehydrogenase, if I said that correctly, which converts methanol into formaldehyde. And since there is no protective barriers present, the formaldehyde is free to cause enormous damage in your tissues. Now, if you watch some of these CSI shows on television, they discuss formaldehyde, and formaldehyde is one of those things that they used to preserve dead things, preserve tissues. So are you really pickling your own body? It's not good. So how is aspartame made? Well, as early as 1999, aspartame was exposed as a toxic sweetener. It was made by genetically modified bacteria, and according to independent papers at the time, it is one of the largest health threats in the world today, and that is artificial sweeteners and genetically modified organisms. Now, remember the push a few years ago about banning genetically modified foods here and there? Well, the thing is that it's still going on. It's just that people aren't really aware or pushing that barrow so hard. Don't be fooled, they're still genetically modifying foods, and they're still changing the chemical balance. It's alarming that genetically modified ingredients have found their way into many of our foods despite the research. And so, how is aspartame made? Well, as early as 1999, aspartame was exposed as a toxic sweetener. It was made by genetically modifying bacteria. And according to the independent papers of the time, one of the largest health threats in the world today is artificial sweeteners. And of course, they're genetically modified organisms. And if you remember a little while ago, a few years back, there was a lot of push on genetically modified foods and the problems associated with it. Now, this seems to have gone by the wayside a little bit, but don't be fooled, this is still going on today. They're still genetically modifying, chemically lacing foods, and the ultimate way to take a stand against these genetically modified food is simply don't purchase it. Look at what the ingredients are, and if it says any of these issues, aspartame, genetically modified foods, genetically modified chemically laced foods, then don't purchase it. I got a lot of this information from the naturalsociety.com/1999 investigation finds aspartame is made with genetically modified bacteria. Now, the process of genetically modifying foods is that it leads to unpredictable consequences. When manipulating the very genetic coding of an organism, we can just open Pandora's box. It is foolish to think that we're going to be eating foods and not have some sort of adverse reaction. We are going to be eating chemically laced foods and doing ourselves harm, whether it be now or in the future. Now, genetically modified foods have already been linked to sterility, infant mortality, and lots of allergies. And studies have shown that the men who have consumed these and too many diet sodas or soft drinks in one day have the risk of developing multiple myelomas and non-Hodgkin's lymphomas as well, all because of aspartame and what's in there. So we have to be very, very careful. So I urge you, look at the packaging of the foods that you're eating,